I will not talk incessantly about control. 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 Ah. Da da da. Hi, hello, welcome to This Orange Life, and today I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction video. Who I am, where I've come from, what types of games I like. At the end, I'll do a compilation of the games that I have been obsessed with recently, or the games that won't get off my neck, basically. So, who am I? Why am I doing a gaming channel? Well, that's the $65 million question. $64 million question? I don't know, we didn't have that in Australia. It's one of those things that I've just kind of picked up somehow. I'm not a lifetime gamer, let's put that frank and out there. I recently had 2 surgeries in the space of 3 years, and I was bedbound as a result of both of them. And what do you do when you're bedbound in the middle of that thing that we can't mention but affected the whole world? You pick up gaming systems. I grew up with games. My sister was a big gamer. So we started with Atari. We had a Commodore 64. An NES, that kind of thing. And so I would watch her playing Super Mario and Tomb Raider and Myst, if you guys remember Myst. Myst is a really big memory of mine because it was really hard. And I remember actually it was one of the first times that my sister actively involved me in helping solve the puzzles and all that sort of stuff. So Myst is one of those games that has followed me for a very long time. It's the 40th anniversary or something this year. 30th or 40th? It'd have to be 30th, I think. But Myst I have on pretty much every system. I have it on my phone. I have it on Switch. I have it on Nintendo DS. I have it on my iPad. It's one of those games that I always come back to. So I guess you could probably say that was the first game that I really participated and enjoyed playing as a little kidling. I'm not going to buy it for Steam Deck because for some reason it's 3,700 yen, which is just exorbitant considering I paid like $3 on mobile, but whatever, I digress. The first games that were really mine, though, the ones that I picked up and chose and played for myself, the 2 that I can think of offhand other than Myst one was the X-Files game for PC and Mac, which back in the day was not a normal thing. We had a PC, we had a Compaq, if you remember Compaq. I don't know if they still exist. But I remember the X-Files game very distinctly because I love the X-Files and I still love the X-Files even to this day. And it was just this point and click QuickTime movie event game. And I have a copy of it. Because I wanted to see if I could boot it on my computer. But alas, I am a Mac user and that, Mac makes everything a little bit harder. But I very distinctly remember that game. Mulder and Scully are not in it very much. I think you spend the game looking for Mulder and Scully and they pop up every now and again. I think that had something to do with Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny not wanting anything to do with it. But you play as Agent Wilmore.
Why Agent Wilmore? Why Agent Cook?
And you're looking for them, and my heart and soul Skinner is in it, and a couple of other characters. But that was one of the first games that I remember that belonged to me and that I played. The other one that I can remember is a really obscure one. It was called Paparazzi, and I was certain for a really long time, because I went looking for it, I thought it was a fever dream, but it does actually exist. There is a playthrough on YouTube, and it was a PC game. And basically you play as a paparazzi and you have to take pictures of celebrities in, not very nice positions. And that sounded R-rated, but it was a lot of fun. It was a point and click game as well, but it had all these interactive menus and you could watch the TV and it would give you clues as to where to go to get the paparazzi shots, and if you got them you'd get money and all this sort of stuff. But like I said, it wasn't a fever dream. It has popped up on eBay a couple of times, and I've thought about buying it, but it's quite expensive. But there is a playthrough here on YouTube, which I'll link below if you're interested, because it's a quirky and rather strange game, which makes me think that I was a bit of a quirky and strange child, but that's getting off the point a little bit. After that, I guess I didn't really game a lot until I moved overseas and my roommate gave me a 3DS. Yes, she gave me a 3DS. Like, she just gave it to me. She had two. And she was playing this little game that you guys might have heard of called Animal Crossing New Leaf. And I was like, hey, that looks kind of interesting. Maybe I'll give it a go. And so she gave me the 3DS, which I still have to this day. And we used to parallel play on the couch for hours and hours and hours building our islands. And I took it back with me when I moved back home to Australia, and brought it back with me when I moved back here. And yeah, I think that sort of started or kickstarted my love of games again. Because I didn't really touch them, to be honest. Anything other than, well, I really like Tetris and I really like Bejeweled. Do you guys remember Bejeweled? Bejeweled's great. Like, it's still a really great game. And I used to play like those little mobile games and stuff like that, but nothing hardcore. But when you're recovering from surgery, you need something to do. And so my spouse got me a Nintendo Lite, a Nintendo Switch Lite. And that's when we kind of fell into the you-know-what, the pandemic. I picked up Animal Crossing like everyone did, but it didn't click with me for some reason. And I'm going to try it again on this channel because it's having a bit of a resurgence because it's the 4th anniversary. 4 years, can you imagine? And I found farming sims, I guess. So my pandemic game was actually Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. And I actually wonder what my save file looks like, so we might have a look at that on this channel as well. But that's when I started to game in a more everyday fashion, I guess, for lack of a better term. I then fell into a little game that you guys might know. It's Genshin Impact. Yeah, but we'll get to that. So a co-worker at my job suggested to me, they were absolutely obsessed with the game, and she suggested to me that I play it, and I thought I'll give it a go. I'm one of the 12 people in the world who play it on PlayStation, and yeah, I'm a big Genshin Impact fan. And another game that also changed the landscape for me with gaming was, of course, as I jokingly referred to in the beginning of the video, Control. Control and the Remedy extended universe, including Alan Wake and Quantum Break and stuff like that. So we'll get into that. I've been playing more diverse games. I got a Steam Deck after my last surgery and I absolutely love it. And so I've been basically just picking up anything that I can find and trying to play it. But I do have, I kind of lean towards maybe less battle and more lifestyle sim, but I wouldn't call myself like a cozy gamer. I think that's kind of boxes you in a little bit. Also, what's a cozy game? To me, Control is a cozy game. So who knows? It's one of those, again, $64 million questions. What's a cozy game? But a cozy game by definition, I guess, is farming sims and lifestyle sims and stuff like that, which I guess I do tend towards, but you know, then you've got Genshin in my life and you've got Control, and so I kind of just whatever takes my fancy is what I go for. But that's basically my gaming life in a nutshell. I'm really excited about starting this channel. It's not something that I ever thought I would do, but I've had some amazing support from the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Pink Gamer, and a shout out to Marshmallow Corgi as well. So I've had some amazing support from them, and also my spouse and my best friends and things like that. And so we're just going to see how it goes. And if it tanks, then it tanks. But I am just going to do it for me because it's fun and it looks fun when Pink Gamer does it and when Josh's Gaming Garden does it and a bunch of other really cool channels out there. So I'm going to give it a go and give my spin and take on the new games that are coming out in the world. Which leads me to the games that are currently standing on my neck, or the games you're going to be hearing too much about. There's not a great deal of them, so don't get too worried. This video is not going to be 50,000 minutes long or whatever. But there are quite a few that I wanted to share with you and my quick thoughts on, so let's get to it. Genshin Impact. Yes, this is a body pillow, and I do own it. Am I ashamed? Yeah, a little bit. Genshin Impact. Do I even need to introduce Genshin Impact to you? It is probably one of the world's most famous games and played games at the moment. It's a free-to-play gacha game, free-to-play gacha game that is on mobile, so iOS and Android. It is also on PlayStation, and it's supposed to be coming to Switch, but it has been coming to Switch since the beginning of the game. I've been playing for about 3 years now, and it has pretty much taken over my life. It's my main fandom, if we want to get into that side of the gaming world. I'm talking fan art, merchandise that I collect, autographs that I've gotten, like that kind of thing. I absolutely love it. I love the story. I love the lore. I love the characters. I'm not a huge fan of battle, so the battle is not my favorite thing in the game, which people might think is a little bit strange, but it is what it is. And yeah, I just have a lot of fun playing it. I can go a couple of months without playing, like a lot of people do. Genshin burnout is a real thing, but I do try to play it as much as I can. And again, my house is filled with Genshin merchandise, which is hideously easy to get in this country. Although not until recently, it was actually really quite hard to get. But we've got stores and stuff like that stock it now. And if you're wondering, the body pillow actually was from a claw machine, and I paid money for it because I wasn't going to do claw machines. I know myself too well. It would have been cheaper to buy it on Mercari than it would have been for me to do a UFO catcher. So anyway, now the big question, we've got a lot of big questions in this video. The big question is, am I going to stream Genshin Impact?
I don't know.
Like I said, I'm not into the battle side of things. I'm not into the grinding and building my character to get 50 million scale damage and DPS and AP and all the different terms that I have to ask my spouse who works in the gaming industry about all the time. And I just don't think that I could handle the feedback from people telling me how bad the builds of my characters are, because they are terrible. They are really, 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 really bad. But I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Story of Seasons. No. I just really love Story of Seasons. I remember the Harvest Moon games from when I was a kid. My sister would play them. There's a lot of dust and air for some reason, and it's gotten on the camera lens. Anyway, I love Story of Seasons. I have a really soft spot for it. Like I said, it was my pandemic game. I think they're just really chill. They're really easy to play, and the updated versions that have come out, Wonderful Life, Mineral Town, and Olive Town, are just a lot of fun. Like, they're a lot of fun. They're really mindless. They're really easy to play. So I think I know Josh's Gaming Garden has been playing Olive Town, and I'm quite curious to see my save as well, because I put a lot of work into that. So maybe we'll see that on the channel. Oh my god, Edgeworth's getting the frame. Ace Attorney. If you said to me that I would be into a game about a fail attorney and a fail prosecutor and the world's best female character who is constantly getting framed for murder, I would tell you that you're ridiculous. But I love the Ace Attorney series. I have played them all. I've played Apollo. I've played the Edgeworth games in Japanese. I haven't played the Great Ace Attorney, actually, believe it or not. I have been lacking in that. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to love that too. I've played the Professor Layton crossover. What is there to say that hasn't already been said about Ace Attorney? It's just a great series of games. They're ridiculous. They have ridiculous characters, but they're hugely fun to play, and I highly recommend them. 1, 2, and 3 have recently been ported to Switch, and they look amazing. They look absolutely amazing. Capcom did a great job with the port, or Nintendo did. Whoever does porting, I don't know. But I highly recommend them. They're a lot of fun. They get your brain thinking. They get your brain moving. They make you laugh. They can also make you cry a little bit. But yeah, definitely play Ace Attorney if you have not played Ace Attorney. Fashion Dreamer. I don't have goods for Fashion Dreamer, so you get a dramatic fashion pose. But yes, Fashion Dreamer, which was released on Nintendo Switch about 3 months ago now, 4 months ago, December, I think, of last year. It's taken over my life. I have 61 million followers. It's just one of those games. If you don't know what it is, it's a electronic paper doll game, essentially. And you do look-its for people. You can connect online and do look-its for real-life people, but there's also an option for solo mode where you just create looks for NPCs. And it's just a lot of mindless fun. I can just put on a video or a podcast in the background and just grind away, and that's how I've managed to not touch grass and get 61 million followers. Like, yeah, okay. But I really recommend Fashion Dreamer for anyone who just wants some mindless fun, who liked the Style Savvy series. It's not Style Savvy, and well, a lot of people have opinions about that. My opinion is that it is Fashion Dreamer. It's not Style Savvy, even though they're made by the same company. So just enjoy it for what it is, and you'll have a great time. Coral Island. I also don't have goods for this, mainly because the only goods I can find are a candied tree seed sticker on Etsy, which I really wanted to buy, but it was 2,900 yen to ship to me. And no, I am not spending that much for something that would take $2 to stick in an envelope and send to me. So I don't know what's going on with Etsy, but I digress again. Coral Island. Should it be released right now? I err on the side of I'm not going to be a Reddit poster, but it does have bugs and it does have this and that. But at the end of the day, I've put in over 300 hours and I think it's very unique. It's a modern farming lifestyle sim. It's definitely a welcome addition to the cozy game genre. And I think that it's going to be really, really, really good when everything is fully implemented. I am married in the game. I have kids. I have a working farm and all that sort of stuff. But a couple of days ago, we got a devlog update for 1.1, and we will get more content going forward, probably about May or June. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, I didn't even tell you what the game is about. It was a Kickstarter that got almost $2 million, and it's made by an Indonesian company. So there's a lot of references to Indonesian culture, which is really cool, including an Australian coded dude named Ben, which is really funny to me because Australians go to Bali constantly. But it's really unique. The art style is really unique. And it was in early access for a really long time, and then they released 1.0 a couple of months ago. It's been really buggy. There's been a lot of problems and stuff like that, but they're doing the best that they can. And I do really highly recommend giving it a go because it's definitely become one of my favorite games. And like I said, I've pumped over 300 hours into it, so it's got to be good. Last but definitely not least, Control. Bloody hell, that book's heavy. Anyway, Control. Control and the whole extended Remedy universe, or the Remedyverse as it's known in fanish circles. Control is one of the games, but the universe actually starts all the way back in Remedy's first game, which is called Max Payne. You guys probably remember that. It was quite a famous game. It then moved to Alan Wake, and then Alan Wake, then Quantum Break, then Control, and then Alan Wake 2, and then Control 2, which is coming in like 2 years or something like that. But I heard about Control, and it reminded me, of course, of the X-Files, which I absolutely love. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. It's not a game that I would normally pick up, but I got the Ultimate Edition, which has the 2 DLCs, the Foundation and AWE, which is tied into Alan Wake. Spoiler. And I absolutely love it. It's got lore. It has great characterization. It has amazing accessibility options, which is really important to me. And I just love how they're making this extended universe of creepy and psychological and, well, people have called it a horror game, but I also saw online someone said that it was a psychological action thriller that flirts with horror, and that's probably the best way that I would describe Control as well. There's a little bit of horror, but it's mostly about the lore and the psychological stuff. And it's just a beautiful game, and I'm really looking forward to playing it on this channel. It's my birthday month, so for my birthday I'm going to play it. But I just absolutely love it. Like, it's just such an amazing game, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's fantastically written. I can't say. I'd probably be sitting here for 15 hours if we do, and I'm going to run out of space on my cart. So, and that's it for today's video. It's a little bit of a long one, but you have an idea of who I am and where I'm coming from and stuff like that. So please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.